Welcome to Venture with Joe and Cody, where we take a deep dive into the minds of leaders and innovators making a real impact today. I'm Joe.
And I'm Cody. And we're here to bring you the raw stories, the successes, and the setbacks that these trailblazers have experienced in their journey to where they are today.
Every week, we sit down with a new guest who's ready to share their insight and advice on business, entrepreneurship, and making a difference in their community. From local community members to industry experts, you're going to get the unfiltered truth behind their success.
So whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or just curious about the business world, join us for a journey of learning and inspiration.
So let's grab a drink, settle in, and let's get started. This is Venture with Joe and Cody. Hello, everyone. Another episode of Venture with Joe and Cody. My name is Joe Skipper with EXT Realty, with Skipper Realty Group, brokered by EXT Realty out of Oregon, with Cody Wilhelm, with Residential Mortgage. No other names with it.
Nope.
Wilhelm Loans.
That's my website.
I don't think lenders do that, right?
No.
Like, really, they don't need to.
Oh, not really. I mean, Our goal obviously is to try to kind of create our own brand within.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I think for the most part, it's just themselves using this company or through the company that they're with.
That makes sense. It's kind of the same, but
kind of boring, but yeah.
That's just what we do. That's in the industry we're in. It's not very exciting, I don't think. Well, it could be, but yeah.
It's
when people get a home and they buy and they sell, it's nice for them and they're happy.
It is.
Which is good.
Yep. It's wonderful.
How are you?
You know, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't have like full on sports mode with the kids, and the weather's been nice, so that's kind of nice. Feels like life is picking up, and it's nice just to be outside a little more.
Man, so nice. And having an 8-month-old puppy is like allowing them to run out back. Because you know, our yard is like muddy-ish when it gets wet, like any backyard in Oregon. But and that dog sprints around once she gets outside. So we just couldn't let her out back. So you had to have her on a leash to take her to the bathroom, or you had to walk her. And now it's just like we can open the back door and just let her
freedom.
Tear it up. She loves it.
Please go destroy our yard.
She's like, what is this? Like, she's never experienced this in her life, like being able to just run around our backyard. So yeah, it's just been good for a variety of reasons, for sure.
Yeah.
This weather.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, we're in sports too. Baseball and dance.
Nonstop. Yeah. Baseball and dance. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. We're soccer and football, and I don't know what our daughter will end up getting into.
Yeah.
If she'll do anything, but
hasn't shown any interest yet in anything.
No, not yet.
Okay.
But she's only 4, so.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you need to get her. She needs to get a job.
She's just happy to go to. She likes to go to everything. Like, she's at the stage where if you're going to pick something up or whatever it is, I want to go.
Yeah,
so she's totally content just to be in the car for hours and hours, and she'll just talk your ear off. So maybe she'll get into like some type of talking. Maybe she'll just be a podcaster.
She's going. Yeah, maybe we could have her on. She's gonna hate.
Yeah.
If she's like any other sister, is at an age where she does not like to go to all the sports games. So she just enjoy the fact that she likes going out now, because Cora, it's torture for her. So, however, she has friends that are there. And so once she gets there, she's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to be excited to just like constantly be going places and it's not involving you.
And sports that don't matter to you, you're just like, I don't care. Like, what am I? Like, I was like, oh, did you see your brother? She's like, no. I didn't see him.
No, I'm not paying attention while I'm here.
No, yeah, exactly. So, today we're going to do a little fun thing. So before I say get your heads out of the gutter, it's Would You Rather. We're going to do a Would You Rather with Joe and Cody.
Yep.
And I remember, the Would You Rathers, like, in college are significantly different than the questions we're going to be asking here. So if you're thinking anything's going to be rated R, I don't think we're going to get there unless we go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? After we could always turn it, like, depending on what the question is. I have not looked at the questions. Cody has my questions. I have his. So, would you like the honors, or would you want me to? Okay, dang it.
I'm going to start it off. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to here we go.
Apply the pressure early here.
Okay, I'm super nervous.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. So the first one I've got is, Would you rather show 10 homes to a buyer who ghosted you, or an open house where nobody shows up?
The 10 homes to a buyer that ghosts you, I guess we're assuming that they just like, they're done. I showed them 10 homes and then they're
like you
gone.
showed them a bunch of houses and then now they're not responding back to you.
I do an open house for sure. Like, open houses, like depending on when they are, I have a different belief in open houses, and this may be controversial with agents or anyone listening. Open houses are good to get exposure to the home. However, I personally have not had, people come into the open house that were like, I was not going to buy a house and now I want to because you had an open house. Like there's people that have come that have confirmed that they want it after they've already seen it with their agent, or they see it at the open house, see it again with their agent, things like that. So I'm not a huge proponent. I guess I'm indifferent to open houses because I don't know if they serve a great purpose.
Yeah.
Having said that, Christine is a big proponent of the open house system and how it works. And for agents to get buyer clients and things like that. And lenders, you could come to these, by the way. We're going off on a tangent, but I do think it has served some purpose, like people that aren't represented, and that you can kind of build rapport with them and see what they're doing. But I would rather sit at an open house for 2 hours with no one come in than go to 10 random homes and that person goes to me. I would be furious.
I figured that would be the case, but
because open house, like, unfortunately, like sometimes that's just the case,
Yeah. Well, and you got a couple hours there. You can just do work. You can just do whatever if nobody shows up.
Yeah, I turn on the TV and watch the Super Bowl, and no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I work.
Super Bowl open house. You know how many people would be going there?
I did one. I did a Super Bowl open house. Like, it was before the Super Bowl. This was years and years ago, and I forget which one it was. But there was like 2 or 3 families that came by.
Really?
The husbands were like ready. They were like, okay, let's move this open house along. Like, we've seen it. Let's get back. But they were there. It was really weird. I think I had to do it for some reason. The client really needed it, which is fine.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're a man of the people.
It's just, if you don't know us, that now you do. Okay, your turn. Would you rather have every client ask you probably already do have this, ask my client why, or have every client ask, why is my rate so high? Or why is this taking so long?
Boy.
Like, what brings you more pain?
Yeah. Honestly, I think I'd rather have why is the rate so high?
Yeah.
Because that is something that can usually be explained and walked through on what causes your rate to maybe be higher than what you're anticipating. Whereas, why is this taking so long? That's usually,
on you. Yeah.
It's usually more of like a service related thing. And that's probably not going to be a good look
that makes
down
sense.
the road. Yeah. I mean, they're both tough ones because you never want to hear what feels like you're above what everybody else is. But that service one where it's like, why is it taking so long? That one can be kind of a tough one.
It kind of reflects on
so I'd take
you get those. Do you get, well, hopefully you don't get what's taking so long on that.
No, usually if it is, it's like a condo. Like we've got one right now where the condo, we've been waiting for the HOA for almost 15 days now to get us the documents that we need. That's so crazy. Sometimes it's out of our control and it's just an explanation of here's what's going on. But if we're doing our job right, we're being a little more proactive and explaining it so they don't have to ask that question.
What do you get? What's not to put you on the spot, but what is the number one question you get, do you think? Generic one like that, like kind of just like what?
Yeah, I'd say
probably what are the rates,
one of them. Yeah, what are the rates? What is the minimum down payment, and or what does my credit score need to be?
Okay,
those are probably the most common. I rarely get a lot of questions about closing costs.
Those are good ones. I think those are legit.
But yeah, I think those are usually the most, like in the very beginning of the process. Like, hey, what are rates doing? What do rates look like? Or how much do I have to put down in order to get into a house?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You got one for me?
Okay. I got one for you. Would you rather do a deal with the nicest client and worst agent, or the worst client and nicest agent?
Nicest client, worst agent by far, by far. I think we've talked about these in the past. When you have a client that is horrible, it makes the entire scenario horrible. I am thankfully had it less than a handful of times in my career. Thankfully, because the clients I have, like for whatever reason, I get good ones. But a bad agent's a bad agent. You can talk your client through a bad agent, and talk your client through different things. But if your client is miserable, the nicest agent on the other side doesn't really matter. They may be more attentive and be like, yeah, I understand, I get it, blah, blah, blah. But man, your day-to-day interactions or your day-to-day life with a client that's terrible is a nightmare. And I'm passionate about it because I've had it so few times. It's like I have PTSD. But I've had it and I'm like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So anyways.
That makes for a long process.
Yeah, I'd have a great client and a terrible agent.
Right?
I think I've had that more often than not, actually. Don't get all mad. There's good agents out there. It's just there's bad ones too. Yeah.
It takes all kinds.
Yes.
It takes all kinds.
Okay. This one's kind of a good one. These are so dumb because they're only our world and no one really cares, but I just think it's funny to ask you these. But okay, would you rather do back-to-back Zoom calls with tech challenged clients or re-explain escrow 10 times in one day?
Man.
The tech challenged clients is so hilarious because it's so common. Like,
I honestly think that I would take the tech challenged ones.
Yeah.
Mainly because I have had some of those conversations where I'm explaining it to the best of my ability and like trying to really go to the most basic level with it.
And it's still not there.
It's still not connecting. And I'm like, okay, I feel bad because I don't know how else to explain this to you. So maybe let's try it again tomorrow. I don't know. But like at least the tech side of it feels like this is maybe something that we can get figured out. But there have definitely been a few times where I'm like, I don't know. I just can't think of another way to explain this to you.
Yeah. Well, and on that note, though, it's similar with tech challenge clients because you can't explain click on this button.
Right.
Like, they're like, I don't know what button that is,
where is
you're
that
trying
button?
to guide them to that. And so it is that awkward, like, I don't know how else to tell you that's what you have to hit.
Right.
Or that's what you have to click on. They're like, it won't open. I'm like, well, I don't know what to do then. Like, I don't have an IT person that's here, but I can get that.
And the nice thing with that too is I'd probably just say, hey, you know what? Let's just jump on a call.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Easy.
No, that makes sense. And I think, but tech challenge is actually pretty common. I don't think, like, to a certain extent, the younger generation know what they're doing, but anyone over 40s-ish, 50-ish is going to have those issues, which is fine.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
it's like sometimes getting people to print their bank statements. I've never done this before.
A year ago, I think I watched this video on kind of ChatGPT or something like that. And it basically said, it was a real estate agent, and he said, you should have ChatGPT, when you have it explain something that you might put in an email or put to a client, explain it like a third or fourth grader. Like tell ChatGPT to do it. And it sounds so insulting, but when I put it in there, I was like, yeah, makes sense. Like it was totally makes sense. Easy to read. It wasn't insultingly low education wise. It was just like, oh, yeah, that's clear to me how it works.
It takes out all the confusion. It makes it very simple. Yeah. It's the way to go.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I would do the
same thing. Next one up here.
Okay.
Would you rather only work with first-time buyers forever or only list homes that need full remodels?
Oh my, these are actually fairly difficult.
Yeah.
I love first-time home buyers. I honestly do. I don't work with them a lot, and it's sad because of the rates currently and just people, I think as generally, unless an agent decides in the very beginning to work with a first-time home buyer, and that's not going to be my niche the rest of my life, they generally, you graduate almost with your clients. Like you start with first-time home buyers, and then they become second-time home buyers, and they become investors, and they become, and so you kind of gradually work yourself out of there. I love first-time home buyers. I would probably say if I had the option, it'd probably be first-time home buyers the rest of my life. I like helping people that don't know what they're doing and being able to like give them a guide. I know it sounds super cheesy, but I prefer that because you kind of get value out of that, like selfishly, that you helped someone that like really needed the help, that didn't know what they were doing.
Have you had any listings where it was like a full-on gut job needed?
Yeah. It actually is not hard to do. Like it depends. Like I think the question's a little generic in the sense like the renovations I've had are fully aware of the renovations, and so you price it for that. So you don't really have to do a lot, but some that are kind of in that in between, you've got to go through that. Like, okay, we've got to either clean it out, we've got to do whatever. Yeah. So there can be a lot of work, but the ones I've worked with, thankfully, are like this is just sell it as is at the price that makes sense for it being that way.
Can you imagine if you didn't if you didn't know that you had selected one of these answers and you kept getting listings and it was just trash home after trash home.
I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. I was only given 2 options.
Yes.
But I think if I had a preference, if you were like, the rest of my life has to be spent doing something, it would be the first-time home buyers.
It would just be kind of a funny, like, maybe not funny is the right word, but you're like, oh, sweet.
Like for the next
I got another listing call. Yeah.
And you go and you're like only rehab, like only ones that are like, my house is trashed. Like,
yeah. Can I get a house that's just like actually ready to sell?
Yeah. No, like I think, again, thankfully I've had like really good clients that when that has been the case, they're like, yeah, just sell it for what
they know what they've got.
Know the market value, give me the market value with the issues in mind. So
sure.
But first time home buyers are fun. They're normally young kids. They keep me young. Like they're more, they're kind of, it brings, I'm so old, like I feel so old now, 42, like, a 23-year-old, 25-year-old, like, like, yeah, this is cool. Like they're like the new, like they're, so it's fun for me to get young again for a little bit. So
sure. Well, and it's kind of cool too, because you get to help them understand everything and get into their first home. Like you're a big part of their life, as opposed to the third time they've bought a house where it's just kind of, it's a transaction for them and they know what's going on.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okie doke. I think of these because I feel like you've done them or you've had this happen.
Probably.
Would you rather lose Wi-Fi mid-rate lock or have a client text, I'm going with Rocket Mortgage at 11 p.m.?
Man, let's see. I mean, I'm going to take the Wi-Fi outage because I feel like I could fix that problem.
You could work with that. Yeah.
I could work around that. But man, it sure is it's a shot to the shorts when you get that last minute text or email like, hey,
going at 11 where you're like, can we talk?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's midnight, but do you want to talk about it? They're like, nah.
Yeah, you reached out to me, so you're clearly awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's tough because
that would be tough.
I mean, especially depending on where it's at in the process. Like if it's early on, it's less of a shot. But if it's later on and you're like, what? We've been working on this for weeks now, and now you're going through this. Yeah, I'd take the IT. I mean, that does suck though.
Yeah,
especially if you don't know.
I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, give me that one.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Would you rather have every client ask for a discount? That's a tough one. Or every showing be 45 minutes late?
Showing 45 minutes late. That's an easy answer. The discount, like the clients generally that ask for a discount don't find you worth what you are.
Right.
And either I haven't proved that, or or I haven't shown them what that value is, and that's my fault, or they just don't care. Like, and they don't, so they generally don't end up being clients that that are ones I want to work with or that want to work with me, to be honest.
Right.
So
because it's just a numbers.
They want a cut rate agent and they want it, so I would wait 45 minutes for a good listing. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I figured.
Okay. Would you rather be, I don't know why I laugh at these. They're not even funny, but would you rather be CC'd on a 28-person email chain or get a call at 9 p.m. asking, what are the closing costs again?
Give me the phone call at 9.
Yeah, I would too. Like,
I'll take that.
The 28-person CC is like, I don't even know what is going on.
Yes.
Stop.
Right. I mean, there's so many emails that I get CC'd on anyways that really don't have that much to do with me.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and it's because you're probably in the same boat. It's like you're checking your emails constantly. You get stuff that comes through. And so when you see enough of them, and especially if that chain is active, you're like, I don't want to check this every time it dings for me here. But so yeah, give me the 9 o'clock phone call asking about the closing costs.
That's normal.
I'll take that one.
They on my family will hate me, but I hope they don't. Similar thing. I mute my family's in-laws, Christina's family's like text thread.
Oh yeah,
because there's a lot and they all text and it's great and I like checking on it. But if I kept the notifications going, my phone would vibrate like
all day,
and so I have to mute them.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love you all if you're paying attention, but I do.
I hope you get a family. I hope you get a family text.
Like, they leave me from
the
group, like it exits me through the group. Man, that'd be sad.
We can hope.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Next one. Would you rather door knock in the rain for 3 hours, or cold call expired listings for 3 hours?
I think for me, it would be.
It's a different kind of pain.
Yeah, it'd be cold calling for expired listings. I know there's agents that are super successful at both, and I don't like both.
Yeah.
And I don't do both.
Huh?
but if I had to, I think the cold calling, I think, especially I picture myself in my own neighborhood knocking and being like, hey, you got an agent? And they're like, Joe, what are you doing here? Like, I don't know if I could do that. I'm just not that, as you know, I'm not that personality. I could do the cold calling, but 3 hours. That's a lot. So long. And agents do it and they're really good at it. Like, I respect them, but man.
Yeah. I got to imagine that the expired listing is probably more effective.
Yeah, I would say so, because they may be bitter about an agent. They may be mad that how it went, or they may be, so the expired listings could bring some sort of tension between agents and that. But those are people that wanted to sell their house, So cold call or cold door knocking's like rando,
Oh, so, yeah. And I don't know a whole lot of people that are actually like, oh, cool, somebody's at the door.
Yeah, no one answers the door anymore anyways. There's this funny guy, he's in Vegas now. He's like a New York guy or Italian comedian. He's on Netflix and stuff. Anyways, he talks about how like back in the day, it was like someone knocked on the door. It was like, come on in, dessert. Like, we got food ready. Come down and eat. Like, it was like everyone. Now it's like someone knocks and everyone hits the ground, lights off, like act like no one's here. Like, who's coming to the door? Like, we're so offended that people are coming to the door.
Yes.
It was so funny. It was like, I forget his name, but it was so funny. But
it's the truth too.
Yeah,
there's nothing worse.
And that's why I couldn't stop laughing. But
yeah, and I'm a sucker for it too. So I'm like that one that's like, hey, what can I help? Let's hear your pitch.
Yes, for sure. Well, would you rather pre-approve a client who ghosts or fund a deal where everyone on the transaction hates each other?
Wow, I'm gonna go with the pre-approve the ghost.
Yeah, well, that's probably not common for you though, right? Like, or is it not? I feel like,
I mean, I wouldn't say there's too much. Yeah, there's not too much ghosting. There's usually communication that goes.
Okay.
It's like, hey, whatever it might be. We talked to this other person, or a lot of times it seems like it ends up being my parents referred me over to this person that they used, and so we had reached out to them, or somewhere. Usually it's some type of connection that will take them. But I don't have a whole lot of people that just go with the straight ghost mode.
Yeah. That's true.
I've had that after you have a conversation, maybe, and you follow up with them, and then it just doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, the pre-approval, usually you feel pretty good about what's going on there at that point. But yeah, I'll take that. Even though you're funding a deal, it's like you got everybody that's hating each other. That's a stressful time right there.
It sucks. Yeah.
It
sucks. I've had a couple of those. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, my turn.
All right. Yep. You're up. Would you rather accidentally send a private text about a client to that client?
Oh, no.
Or forget to unmute yourself during a video call rant?
No. Both are the worst.
You're exposed either way.
Ever. The worst ever.
Yes.
I have, thankfully, knock on wood, never done either one.
Oh, it'd be terrible.
Why? I can't even imagine. I'm trying to think it through of like private texting someone that's your client about them.
Yes.
Like about that. No, I have to do the video. I'd have to do the video.
Yeah, because you can't get rid of that text.
And you can't get rid of the video, but like
that's true.
But I'm like, man, if you texted something about a client to a client, that is, you lose sleep over that. Like, you lose sleep. Like, I've done that on a personal level once or twice, and thankfully only once or twice. Just like you're in group conversations and you send an individual text to that person, and you're like, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Like it really humbles you though. Like, it was back when I was younger, and I still, it still haunts me because I'm like, you need to be a better person. Like, that shouldn't ever be an issue, right? Like, you shouldn't participate in that conversation where you're talking crap about someone else. So,
oh man,
But in my work, I'd have to.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
Even though the video would suck too,
right?
I guess we're used to video, so I feel like I could. I don't know what I'd say, but
maybe it feels a little less innocent.
Yeah,
or a little more innocent.
Yet.
Yeah. I had a client one time.
Options, though, by the way,
I know. I had a client one time text me, and he was meaning to text his wife, and it wasn't anything too crazy, but I was like, "Hey,
slow down.
You probably don't want me seeing this. You got the wrong person here." He was so embarrassed.
Don't send that pic.
He was so embarrassed. He's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. Like, do you like beer? I'll bring you a case of beer." It's like, no, you're good. We've all made that mistake, but I just wanted to let you know before I saw too much here.
We don't need to. We don't need to go any farther. But that's so funny. Okay, well, Would you rather explain the difference between APR and interest rate for the 1000th time, or read a 40-page closing disclosure out loud?
Oh, give me the APR. Give me the
closing
APR.
disclosure would be so terrible. Like, no one would want to work with you again. If you had a client, you read that out loud.
Yes, it would be
like,
awful.
Yeah, they'd be like, I'm done with you. Like,
yeah.
Man,
most of the time, people are just like, do I just need to sign this, or do I even need to open this?
I know. And you're like, yeah. I always do that with my listing stuff. I'm like, some people just say, Joe, just send me the paperwork, I'll sign it. Some people want to go each individually through it, which I'm totally happy either way. But
exactly.
I always get a preface like, what do you prefer? Because I can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Can I trust you? If so, I'm just going to sign the papers.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, that one's pretty easy. You're getting some easy ones.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather sell a haunted house or a house with 3 cats that always follow you during showings?
I think I should know the law on this. I think you have to disclose a haunted house, right?
I think so.
I think you do. Having said that, it'd be kind of unique to do. Like if the ghost was cool, like if it wasn't like an angry one that throws you up against a wall, right. Like it was just like one that just kind of walked through the house. Like it'd be kind of a cool, it'd be an
just
impossible,
moving things here and there.
Impossible sale. But I have had listings and shown homes that have cats follow you around. It's like
really
normal life.
Yeah.
So I don't find that. I find the haunted house a little unique enough to where I'd be like, okay, maybe we do that. Maybe we do the haunted house. So
or like say not even a haunted house, but like a house that you have to disclose that somebody just died in there or something.
Yeah. Like I like the haunted house. I like it. It's a challenge. I just hope the ghost isn't like real bad. Like
would you dress the house up like
ghost. I want Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah.
The open house could be a haunted house. Like it could be an open haunted house. Like it could be like could be yours, Your
target audience is like that Halloween
the Halloween
person that just goes all out.
If you want a built-in Halloween house, you've got a ghost that's living in it. Like the haunted house sounds fun.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Okay,
what do you got?
This is so terrible, but would you rather your computer autocorrect FHA, the terms FHA to FART on a client doc, or have your phone die right before a rate lock expires?
Oh man.
So every FHA autocorrects.
I would take that. I would take that and I would embrace it. And I'd love the question that I would get every time. What is a FART loan?
Man. Whoops. Yeah. You had like a hilarious one associated with one that just makes you miserable. Your phone dies right before a rate lock expires.
Right.
Or like a funny one you can manage, or a miserable
yeah, give me that
one.
Like, actually, I might start doing that
just for fun.
Yeah, just to see what the reactions are.
That's so funny.
Put it on the pre-approval letter. Loan program FART.
Yes, FART. Man.
Okay,
you're getting too easy, man.
I got 3 more for you.
Okay.
All right. Would you rather drive clients around all day with no deal, or have a deal fall apart right before closing?
I'd drive clients around all day, only because I do that. I don't do it regularly, but I'm totally happy to. I want my clients to feel good about it all, and I'm fine looking at houses. I would hate for a deal to close to the last second.
Yeah.
Like
that's
just
rough.
For that is no one likes that, the buyer, the seller, and everything.
No.
So yeah,
pretty much every single person involved is very unhappy.
Is very unhappy. No, I think that you just the showing homes is easy. That was an easy question. Good job.
That is an easy one. Yeah.
Okay. Would you? I don't even know. See, I don't know the lending stuff. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. Would you rather wear a tie to every client meeting for a month, or deliver loan docs by hand in 100-degree weather? Because you guys don't have to wear the formal stuff anymore.
No. I think I'd go with the tie.
Yeah.
Just because that's easy.
You could pull off a good-looking tie.
I could pull. When I first got into the business, my manager, he was you got to dress the part. And so when I first started out, like the first couple of years, I was tie.
Yeah.
I didn't do full suit, but it was like slacks, long sleeve button up, tie. Yeah. I got a good tie collection from that time, and then it just gradually went worse and worse. And
I think you get comfortable. I've kind of stepped it up a little bit lately, just because I'm like, I do need to step it up a little bit. But yeah, there's a balance of showing the professionalism and not being too hoity-toity. Depending on the client.
Yeah, I think so. Like first time meeting someone, I'll usually dress a little bit nicer, kind of cover up some tattoos and not look like I'm potentially going to rob them. So
the tramp stamp, covered up. And
I don't show the back piece.
Show the lower back. You're not wearing the crop top for your first initial meeting.
Yeah, that's the second meeting. That's when we go over the fart loan.
We're really comfortable. We're gonna go over fart loans, and I'm gonna read your closing document out loud.
Yeah, you're gonna love this. Okay, here you go. Would you rather have your lockbox not open in front of a client
all the time,
or trip on the first step in front of them?
I'd rather have the lockbox not open. The worst is like tripping or doing something stupid in front of a client for the first time. The lockbox, it still sucks, but it's like you can figure that out. I always blame it on the lockbox company.
Technology.
I'm like, it's the company. They always have this issue. But me falling is my issue.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Just falling in the front step right in front of them. Just, hey guys, welcome to this. Boom.
Okay, this one's kind of good, but I don't know if this matters to you. So would you rather have your rate sheet disappear for a full day or get stuck in a group text between a couple fighting about their loan?
Ooh.
I don't know. Is it important to have your rate sheet for the day?
Well, anymore, there's really...
Is that like an old-fashioned question?
It's an old-fashioned thing. Yeah,
okay.
Beforehand, like when I first started, and this wasn't like that long ago, but I know it's kind of the tail end of the rate sheets. They'd have the rate sheets available in the morning, and then you'd print them off. And then you had every scenario, all the different adjusters, everything in there. Now it's all done through, I think for just about everybody, it's done through a third-party service that updates them daily. And so it's like loan specific. So I kind of think I'd jump in and just be a fly on the wall for the text conversation.
I know. That actually would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, they're arguing about the loan stuff, so I might see some things about me that I don't want to see, but...
Or you just like ick little pieces. Actually, that's actually not correct.
Correction.
I know you both are fighting, but I just want to let you know that is not actually correct.
Yeah, just let them fight all day, and then by the end of the day, I'm like, actually, hey guys, I just wanted to, as I'm going back here through this thread, I just want to correct a few things.
Yeah, are we going to still sign, or what's the... Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, what'd you guys end up deciding?
I just like to be part of it.
I'm caught up on everything.
That's so funny.
Okay, this is the last one I have for you.
Okay.
All right, would you rather do every showing in socks only, no shoes? This is not just socks. Or use a flip phone for all communication for a week?
Oh, that's really hard because there's
kind
a lot
of
factors in there. Because if they were clients I knew and I said Cody had me do it, would you rather I have to wear socks? I'd be like, I'll just do socks.
Yeah.
But if they're new clients, it's hard to explain that.
Yeah.
Having said that, man, my phone, you would realize real quick how important our phones are, when you have a flip phone. Man, I think I could manage with the flip phone now. Yeah, T9 Word. Get my fingers ready to go again. No, I think I could pull off the flip phone for a week. It would be hard, but I think it's a little more professional to be in shoes and not socks when you're showing houses. So the phone, I think, is the better deal, even though that would be horrible.
Yeah. I wonder if you could brand yourself as these sock
There's agent. A guy, and I'll give him props. I don't know how this works to label a guy. His last name is Bacon, and a real estate agent. We were coming back from the mountain, and his slogan was "Everything's better with bacon." And I was like, "That's the best,
so good
real estate agent cheesy quote thing." Like I loved it. Like that would get people easily.
Heck yeah,
like everything's better with bacon.
I mean, it's true though. Bacon is
like,
good.
Yeah, but I was like, that is such a cool using your last name for the real cool reason. So, anyways, yeah, maybe socks. I don't know, skipper socks. Yeah. I don't know what to do with that. So, okay, and last but not least for you is: would you rather deal with a client who knows nothing and thinks they know everything, or a client who knows everything and reminds you constantly? Definitely, actually, you could get kind of deep into that.
Yeah, I think I'd go with the first one.
Yeah,
the knows nothing but thinks they know everything.
Yeah.
I think that would be. It is.
They're both tough for their own various reasons.
Yeah.
Because if they don't know anything and they act like it, especially in your industry, that's got to be hard to be like, okay, yes, I appreciate what you said. However, you're completely wrong.
Yes. And I think that's partly why I'd pick it, is because there would probably be some times where you could kind of recorrect things.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had the person that
just knows everything.
Yeah.
And remind you how stupid you are. You're like,
right. Yeah, they're like an ex-loan officer. They just got out of the business, and now they're going through everything.
That's true. And then you make mistakes because you're like, you're right.
Yeah. Like that. They're like, hey, will you explain this to me? Sure.
How about you explain it to me and let me tell you if you're right or not?
Exactly. I do get a lot of people though. I think people do a lot of research. Yeah. Internet research. So certain things, it seems like they've gathered what they know. Yeah. And usually it's not all the right information. So it's not super uncommon that happens. But I feel like for the most part, their mindset is like, oh, okay, that's not what I thought it was, or that's not what I read it was.
For sure.
And then you just hope that they trust you, because otherwise then they're like, well, I don't know. The internet said this and you're saying this. So we're going to go with the internet.
Internet always wins. Well, that was cool, man. There were some good questions in there that challenged.
Learned some things here.
Made me laugh more than I thought it would.
I'm going to bring you some cats and some socks. I got some Christmas gifts for you.
So ridiculous, but it did touch on topics that like we've both dealt with, and like you're like, okay, here we go. But no, that was fun.
Yeah.
Guys, if you want to be on Venture with us, we can do game shows with you too. So if you want to be on Venture, give Cody or I a call and let us know if you know anyone that would be good for the show. That'd be good as well. So that's all I got for you, man.
I like it.
Okay. Well, until next time, we'll talk soon.
That sounds good, man. Appreciate it.
Okay. See ya.
All right. See ya.